So this is my 2009 Toyota Camry. Paid $1,000 for it, 206,000 miles. And I've done a couple of videos doing a bunch of repairs on it. First off, the first day I got it home, barely made it home. Engine misfire, and yeah, it had to limp it nice and easy, and we were able to get it in the garage. And if you've watched the other videos and you're wondering, yes, this vehicle is sold, my Nissan Sentra. I guess I'm just holding it storage until the owner is ready for pickup, but that's another story. So for $1,000, it was a pretty good deal, as this thing was in decent shape body wise. Mechanically, not so much. So over a series of maybe 4 to 6 weeks, I've invested $1,500 into repairs, to include new tires, little odds and ends, water pump, and all that stuff. So let's go over this car and see if, with $1,000 and $1,500 into it, was it worth it? So between new tires and all the repairs and everything that I've done, I'm into this car $1,500. I paid $1,000 for it, so for $2,500 we got a great deal. And the biggest expense was, well, the tint. The tires, not so much. Got them on sale, so I can't complain on that. But the tint was $300. You don't need it, but in the South, I do recommend it. So with all that being said, how does it drive? Is it worth it? Let's fire it up and let's hear it. So after several weeks of repairs and a bunch of parts replacement, this thing runs really good, sounds good, nice and smooth, and I'm very happy with it. So now let's take it for a spin and see how she feels. So as you can see, 207,422 miles. I've put roughly, I want to say probably about 1,200 miles on it. I've been driving this thing a lot and it runs fantastic. Now you got your typical Toyota Camry interior. Nothing to write home about, but I will say the seats are very comfortable. At night, this radio looks really cool the way it lights up. The dash, gross. And of course, gotta rock the Ninja Turtles. That is pretty cool. But as far as the interior, it's really clean. I haven't done much to it besides a car seat, tinting it. And like I said, this tint right over here, as long as you're not below the AS1 line, it's legal. You're good to go, and that definitely makes a difference in the South. And it's definitely warm today. So let's take this thing for a spin and show you how she runs. Now the transmission shifts perfect. I did do a transmission service on it, changed the filter and fluid. I changed the filter and then I changed the fluid probably about 3 times within that 1,200 miles. It's nice and clean and it runs perfect. A lot of people have reservations about changing the fluid at high mileage. I've done it, and also there was a note that this thing was serviced one time in its lifetime, so I felt comfortable with it. Used the original Toyota WS standard, and the thing shifts like smooth as butter. No hiccups, no hesitations. Now riding in this car, I mean, it's not fast. I will say this is not a fast car by no means, but it rides really smooth. The suspension is very nice on it. And where it really shines, in my opinion, is the highway. On the highway, you can do 80 miles per hour. The engine's not screaming at 3,000 RPMs. I think it's about 2,300, and it's ready to move. It's ready to go. This is not a fast car, like I said. 100 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. It's a comfortable, fuel efficient family car, and that's why I really like this thing. Now let's take it up on the bypass, get it up to speed, about 60 miles per hour. And that kind of gives you an idea of how well this thing will ride. Acceleration smooth without hiccups, which I really like. Now we're at 60. The interior is pretty quiet. Typical road noise, which is, I mean, standard for any vehicle. This is not like a luxury vehicle. But we're at 60, getting ready to approach 65. And the car rides smooth. Going from a $1,000 car that was really rough, needed a lot of work, and how smooth and reliable it is now. Yes, we spent $1,500, but for $2,500, I am in a car right now that I would not hesitate to take cross country to New York, Florida, California. So for $2,500, this was a great deal. And if you look at the market, these things in poor condition go for about $2 to $3 grand. And in pretty good condition, even with the high miles, they go about 4 to 5. So I'm in the positive on this one. Now, this thing is not perfect. There are some minor things that need to be squared away. Number one, the bumper. I think this thing was in an accident at one point and the bumper was never installed properly. So that would need attention, but nothing major. The headlights are pretty good. I went ahead and did a restoration on that, and they're sealed, so that's pretty good on that. The bottom over here, this lower spoiler for it, it wasn't prepped properly, and well, now the paint is peeling, so I could take that off and try to respray it, but also kind of need to line this thing up. As far as the front end, it needs lower control arms, which that's probably the only major thing, as the lower control arm bushings that sit on the chassis, they're worn out, and it causes the car just to wander a little bit. And if you change that, that would actually smooth the ride and keep it more stable on the road. Now, as far as blemishes, we just have this one right over here, which is really no big deal. Your normal scrapes and dings, which is typical for a car that's like 15 years old. But for $2,500, cosmetics, I can live with it. So the car being pretty much, I would say, 90% squared away, what is the plans for it? Well, just like the Nissan, I might be getting rid of it. Not 100% sure, but I have a vehicle in line that I will actually be trading this one for, which in some retrospects, it is a better deal. In others, it's actually a worse deal for me because it's going to need some repairs. And I'm pretty much trading a perfectly working car, squared away, drive ready, for one that's going to need a bit of work, but I think it could be a fun vehicle. And in my opinion, that vehicle is one of the ones that is most overlooked, but still very reliable. So you have to stay tuned for that. If it goes through, we'll definitely start that series. And if not, then we'll keep the Toyota, maybe do the control arms, and I don't know, keep it, sell it. Not 100% sure. I'm into it. $2,500. I could probably sell it easily for $3,500 to $4,000, and somebody would definitely buy it, with this thing being pretty much squared away. So hope you enjoyed this series. Definitely check out the other videos of all the repairs if you're interested in the Nissan Sentra series and how much I got into it and all the repairs. Definitely check my videos out for that. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're not, and hopefully we'll find something else to work on.